Is Eric an Eagles fan?
Yeah, he's a big Eagles fan.
Yeah, he's a
He's
huge.
the fucking man. He's my favorite person that lives in that house right now.
Oh shit.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Fuck you, Gabe.
Unless you wear that hat for the podcast.
All right, we're live, guys.
It actually burns my scalp.
I look fine. I'm not that
I
bad.
still can't even see you.
You look good
Well-
enough, bro.
Thank you. Just know that I'm beautiful in every way, shape, form, fashion. Okay?
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Are you ready? You good?
As ready as I will be.
Cool. Hello. Welcome to Slam's Fist Fact, the live recording podcast of, if I am not mistaken, this is episode 20,
It is.
I think. Counting the one YouTube exclusive that we did with Gabe. But on a whim here, guys, we went out and we have two guests this weekend for our recording. We have in the top left corner of my screen, at least, the person that lives in Florida. Introduce yourself, sir.
Gabriel Page Fuller. Greetings.
What's your social security number?
And a credit card with the back three numbers, please. And then,
Factory. And my expiration.
drinking in his little hat, sir. Welcome to the podcast. What's your name?
Oh, it's Dalton. Andrew Vestal, social security number. Enter these 3 digits, followed by 2, followed by 4.
All right.
What's up, Brandon?
If any of
What's
our viewers can figure out Dalton's social security card, I'll give you $1,000. Hey, Rick, how's it
I will
going?
match that. I will match that. It is now, the bounty is up to $2,000.
But anyway, I'm-
We're desperate way to get viewers. That's where we're just like putting $1,000 bounties on Dalton's social.
exactly.
Please don't. God, I have. There's too many people I know that can do that.
It's terrifying.
Yeah,
It is.
I recant my bounty right now in case Tara tries to claim it.
Same. She doesn't count.
I would have a story, but we don't have to. I don't want to tell you that story.
You're fine. You're fine. But anyways, guys, I can't remember. Y'all were both on the podcast fairly early. So we have a first news segment that our good friend that we all know, Matt, came up with. We're going to go around. We're going to talk about what we're drinking. So, Rick, start off with you. What you got sipping on today?
I got me some Willet bourbon. One that's unfamiliar. It sells in a really cool bottle that looks like a pot still. Drinking out of a little fancy copper cup.
Copper cup made for mules. Anyway.
It's made for a bourbon. Thank you.
Yeah. Gabe, what about you? What are you drinking?
This is a rehash from last time, but Gatorade. Just in case you need electrolytes and Gatorade and hydration.
Sponsor us. Anyway, Dalton. What's up? What you drinking?
I'm drinking the wonderful substance known as Blue Moon.
Nice.
Very affordable, by the way. Love it.
Nice. And I have the very cheaper than a 12-pack of 12-ounce Mick Ultras, the 16-ounce aluminum can Mick Ultras, because they were $1.50 cheaper for some reason. But won't complain about it at all.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So I don't want it to get super sidetracked, derailed here, but the reason for this special guest appearance is we do have a birthday on screen right now. I don't know how well you can see him, but our buddy Dalton is celebrating Dalton Palooza currently as he turns how old, Dalton?
27.
The ripe old age of 27, making him just under half of Brandon's age. And we were here for a good time, not a long time tonight, folks.
Yes, 100%. This is a way different Dalton Palooza than we probably celebrated at your 21st birthday, but we're here.
They have slowly gotten calmer throughout the years. I'm trying to bring back like the epicness of the
I'm
first one.
thinking next year we all meet up and we have your birthday's this week, my birthday's in like 2.5 weeks from now, and we just have a vest. We call it the Vest Anus Palooza.
I was thinking more we do like a survivor challenge to figure out which birthday is actually going to be like we celebrate which birthday, and the winner, that's the birthday we celebrate.
I have my buffs
Throwing that
ready.
out there.
I got my buffs ready. Will I let any of you use the mint condition buffs hung up there? Not a chance. But they're there. They're ready. But anyway, we'll go into our first segment. This week's in history. My first one was it's Dalton's birthday. So Rick, I'll go to you with whatever yours is.
So, my This Week in History is in 1965. You've Lost That Loving Feeling hits number one on the Billboard Top 100s. And it hits number one again, after being featured in Top Gun in 1986. 20-year gap between peaking at number one and number one.
Well, it's like it's when Bohemian Rhapsody peaked at number one in the '70s, and it peaked number one again a couple years ago when the movie came out. So
Yeah.
pretty good. I have one that's near and dear to my heart because I enjoyed watching this as a kid. In 1989, the WWF becomes the WWE because in a court case they finally admitted that pro wrestling is an exhibition and not actually a combat sport. So they had to change their name from Federation as a registered sports to an entertainment industry, which is pretty interesting. And then my I know I don't want to talk about it. Either way, I love
Wait,
it.
do y'all watch WWE?
I watch Raw all
I
the
used to.
time. I
used
still do every now and then. I also watch currently AEW that Chris Jericho started, which is pretty damn good too.
You say A&W, like the root beer?
AEW, Elite Entertainment Wrestling or something. All Elite Wrestling, something. Doesn't matter.
American Entertainment Wrestling? Something
Maybe
like
one of those 6. But it doesn't matter either way. And then my last one, which we will cover on later, but it's going to always go down in history, and it also has to do with sports, is LeBron became the all-time points career leader this week. Whatever we call it.
How is that? Like, okay.
This week in history, it is history that happened this week. That has every word in our description.
Okay.
History
Okay.
happened this week in an NBA game. LeBron.
Yeah, but I feel like that's current events more than.
But we
whatever.
don't have a current events section, so it's going here and it's going and talking about sports.
I'm about to say, fun fact, in my sports section, it's
Yeah.
current sport events.
Whatever. That's fine. Any of y'all got any off the top of your head that happened this week? I know that you just read history books all the time.
Talking about this week in history?
Sure.
I think Gary Kasparov, he was like a chess champion. He played a computer. He was like the first person to play a computer in chess, won 4-2.
Dalton, any other
96.
cooler ones than that, or are you just here for the ride, baby?
No, I do have one. The greatest man actually alive was born 2 days ago. My father was born on February 8th of
Nice.
19. God dang.
Don't butcher it. Don't butcher it just again.
Oh my God, Dad, no.
He's
I'm so
collapsing.
Oh, God.
Don't worry,
We're
I'll buy you
We're about to
Just
watch
the
the
first-
downfall. How old is he, Dalton?
similar time.
sorry. 64. What was that?
Dang.
Math, yeah. And I will always be the greatest gift he's ever known. Just 2 days later, I was born.
Anyway, I'm sure he got something cooler. Anyways, moving on to...
Thank you for that.
It'd be 1959, I believe.
Yeah, 59. Your dad is older than my dad, and I'm 3 years older than you. So your dad might have had you late, or my dad might have had me early. Either way. Fun fact, my dad's birthday's next week, so we're just destined to be friends. Anyways, hot takes of the week, Rick. What do you have?
Hot takes. So I don't know if you guys got a chance, but I actually tagged all of you in this article about this new trend on college campuses called Borgs. It stands for Blackout Rage Gallons. So college kids are showing up to parties with a gallon jug, half water, half liquor, some electrolyte mix.
Okay.
Hot take? That's weaker than how we partied.
Hot
sounds
take.
cool, and they carry a gallon jug. But if they
Agreed.
really do make it with 50% water and some electrolytes, weak.
Agreed, because nothing beats the 2 liters of sweet tart that we used to make.
Oh God. Oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Oh.
PJ in general.
You can hand me a gallon of half water, half vodka, and like mix with Mio or whatever, or even like Gatorade electrolyte powder, and I'm golden all day. You give me a 2 liter of sweet tart, and I pass out under a car and almost get ran over.
Yeah, one is made to prevent hangovers, and the other one is invented to give you the worst hangover of your life.
Weak. I agree. Borgs are weak sauce. And whoever made
What
that
about your hot
idea,
takes?
the first one, I think out of all the fast food restaurants, Chick-fil-A has the worst breakfast options.
It's insane.
It's so
I
true.
cannot-
It's so true. The biscuit
Bell.
compared to
Easily.
McDonald's or Bojangles or Hardee's, Chick-fil-A's biscuit is absolute ass compared to those other 3.
but,
If
like,
you
it's
if you
not
could give
about
me
the
a Bojangles biscuit with like a spicy chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A and mix them together, it'd be good. But because the biscuit is so bad and falls apart in your hand, it is a sub-tier breakfast biscuit option.
Dude, I'm with you. I think I'm actually leaning with agreeing with you because that's actually my number one complaint is the chicken is still good, but all of their breadings are subpar, which really help make the breakfast component of that.
Yeah.
So I'm with you actually. I
Chick-fil-A
agree with
breakfast, and I'll just take it from those 4: McDonald's, Bojangles, and Hardee's, all homemade, make their biscuits, butter them great. It's subpar breakfast option.
You know who's newer to the breakfast game? It might be the best of all those. Have you had Wendy's breakfast yet?
I have
Get out
not.
of here. Get out of here. No, not even. That's not good.
Wendy's breakfast, they have a honey chicken biscuit, and it is fantastic. And they have these little potato skins seasoned. Way better than most people's like breakfast tots or hash browns or bullshit.
I agree that all the hash brown options, like at all the places, are all bad. They're all bad.
I think the best hash browns McDonald's is hash brown.
And it's still bad.
They're all bad. You can argue the Bo Rounds versus the McDonald's hash brown, but at least McDonald's hash brown is one thing, so I don't get all fucking greasy when I eat it.
But Bo Rounds, hot take, love Bojangles. Bo Rounds are just slim tater tots.
Agreed. They're just a tater tot that's flattened this way.
Yeah.
I will say one of the best breakfasts that is a more weirder thing than Wendy's is the breakfast crunch wrap from Taco Bell is fucking good. Sausage, egg, cheese, and a hash brown wrapped in a Crunchwrap Supreme tortilla and grilled on each side. It's pretty good. It's handy. It doesn't get messy because it's all wrapped inside that tortilla. It's a good option. I also have 2 more hot takes. One, I don't know, maybe Dalton might disagree with me. One, I don't think Friends is a good TV show.
Yeah, you're wrong.
It's bad. Watch it without the laugh
Why?
track and see if you laugh.
I will.
And you won't.
done.
Okay.
Laugh track. I mean, the laugh track's there for a reason.
To make people think it's funny.
There now look, I'll agree in general practice. That's true with laugh tracks. That was the staple of the sitcoms. It's what helped make people laugh and enjoy them. Friends, I actually, because people have played this social experiment and taken the laugh track out of the background, still find a lot of their like the sketches and stuff funny.
I do
My-
think
my-
also the awkward pauses would be kind of weird without the laugh tracks. Don't
But
get me
they're
wrong.
usually framed with like an odd facial expression. That's kind of what
Sure.
plays into it.
My hot take is I don't think Friends is that great. So that's my hot take. I know there's a widely recognized TV show, but just it's not for me. My last one that Gabe might agree with me on. I lived with Gabe for a while, so I can't remember if he does this. The other 2, y'all are probably going to disagree. This is maybe my hottest take that I've made so far in the 3 that we've done hot takes on.
Ooh.
I think orange juice tastes better with pulp.
I agree.
Yeah, you're fucking insane.
You're no way.
So I called it though. I called it. I was like, Gabe's gonna agree. Rick and Dalton are not.
Medium to high pulp.
medium to high pulp orange juice because I know that is freshly squeezed orange juice. It has the pulp. If you go to a farm and you're like, yo, homie, make me some freshly squeezed orange juice, they're not going to take the pulp out because it's better.
You might as well be drinking tea.
It is not indicative of if it's fresh.
It's got pulp in it, baby. Oranges. Orange
If you
juice.
put an orange
Not from
in
concentrate.
if you put an orange and make your own orange juice, you put your own orange juicer made for fruit to go in and get the juice, you don't get pulp.
Yes, I do.
Then you're doing it wrong. You're operating that piece of equipment.
Or I'm doing it right and you're doing it wrong.
Last time I did that, I was like 9 years old, so I can't even confirm or deny your statement. And two, even if what Brandon said is incorrect because it makes it more fresh, placebo effect. It makes me feel like it's more fresh. Boom, and it's better. Placebos are real.
Placebos are real, but like
Orange juice with the pulp, medium to high pulp. Some pulp
Moving
is
on.
okay.
Like,
It's
do you not like that's like low pulp? Like
Low pulp's fine too, but I'm saying my favorite, and it's called some pulp, not low pulp.
I think it's called light pulp.
It depends on the brand that you buy, honestly.
Yeah.
My favorite is medium to high pulp. I think orange juice with pulp tastes better than orange juice without pulp.
Yeah. Anyways,
that's weird.
Gabe or Dalt, do you have any hot takes off the top of the dome? For all of our listeners, this is 100%, 100% on the fly. These two did not know they were going to be guests.
No, not at all. We asked them 20 minutes ago. So they have prepared absolutely nothing, but we were playing video games together, and we have been enjoying our virtual Dalton Palooza, and we're going to keep it that way, damn it. So y'all,
Absolutely.
all the slammers out there, or the one Fister and Tino who voted for Fister, you get to see it.
I have one.
Sure.
Anytime you're making a smoothie or protein shake of any kind, the number one best thing you can add to it, no matter what the flavor, is banana. There's no better flavor option to add to any type of smoothie or shake than banana.
What I'll say is it's the most, I agree with it being the most versatile. I think the best you can add to like 90% of them is peanut butter. There's some flavors that doesn't work with, so I feel like win with the fact you can put banana in anything.
I'm kind of with you on that. Peanut butter is pretty high end as well.
Yeah, but
Peanut-
vanilla banana, chocolate banana, peanut butter banana. You can't have a peanut butter. You can't have a peanut butter strawberry though. That'd be kind of
Exactly.
weird.
That's the one my brain went
Yeah.
to was like strawberry. You could definitely add banana. Can't add peanut butter.
I'm agreeing with you, Gabe. I definitely thought you were gonna say egg at first, like as like the most versatile thing to add, just because of the amount of like protein and stuff. I was like, God, dude, I'm gonna fucking go through this screen and punch you. Dalton, any hot takes before we move on to our draft that y'all get to judge since you're here?
Yes. I don't think it matters how you put the toilet paper on the roll, either front or back.
You're fucking wrong.
You are an abysmal piece of shit.
How is he
I don't
wrong? It doesn't matter.
I don't think it matters because you're doing the same
Okay,
exact thing.
wait a minute
No matter what.
before we keep going. Rick, what's the correct way to put toilet paper on the roll?
Over.
Okay, I agree. If you put it
With
under,
with one exception.
it's in a restaurant.
If you have toddlers that can run around or pets that can go into your bathroom, you put it under so they can't undo the whole roll. Any other time, if you're all adults, or is the only acceptable method.
I think as an adult, it shouldn't matter.
I think as an adult, you should be set in your ways and decide, and not pity patty each way.
Just make a
Well,
decision, bro. Just
Well,
make a decision.
I'm just slamming it in there, man. I'm just going like you just put it in.
You know
lock-
what?
lock and
You know
load.
what?
I
Either
agree.
way, a bidet is superior.
I've never used one.
I've used it
Very might
twice,
as well.
right? One, good experience. Didn't have to only wipe to like get the water down, and nothing else came out. The second one had a heat mode. All right, so it was like nice and warm water, and I was like, "Bro, I have to buy this." And I asked my uncle. Y'all know him. It's my uncle Brandon. He had both of these. I asked him. I was like, "Yo, how much that?" But he's like, "Oh, it's like a $300 bidet." I'm like, "Fucking shit, dude! It had a remote." Like this bit, you could move it back and forth. You could side to side, hot, cold, warm. You could probably even steam your nuts if you wanted to. Like,
Wait, cold? Who opts for the cold version?
I
It
don't
might be
know.
a hot day. It might be a really hot day.
Yeah,
Some
like
people
you're
know.
outside sweating. You're like, man, some cold water would feel really good right now.
Wim Hof definitely uses the cold water in his bidet. All
Who?
right. Wim Hof.
Wim Hof,
Yeah,
the insane guy.
I agree.
he's great.
All
He's
right.
awesome. But he's
Wonderful hot takes, and also think how much money you save if you have a bidet.
1000% long term. You're gonna.
Yeah,
It's gonna
long
be
term, you're
cost
good.
effective.
All right. Moving on to our drafts. Favorite section of the day. We had 2 user submitted drafts, so we're doing those this week and next week. We're doing 1 and 1. Today our draft, top 5 choices. Rick gets to go first. We are drafting the top/best Stevens. With rules on, it can be Steven, with the PH, a VN, it can be Steve, whatever. They have to be real people, and that's it, no fictional characters. They can be dead or alive.
And the number 1 overall, Brandon was super salty he didn't get. Steve, my man, Irwin. Easy. Absolute lock for number 1.
Wonderful. I'm
Was
upset.
that who you were going to take?
Not as number 1. He was my number 2. All right, listen.
Wow.
Listen. I love Steve Irwin, right? I thought, Rick, okay, if you would have took this guy, Irwin was my number 1, right? Listen, I had 2 people above him. I love him to death. Grew up on the Crocodile Hunter. I have 2 people above Steve Irwin.
Well, this has been a great podcast, guys. I'm going to call it.
Look. All right, so
You're a piece of shit.
that's fine. That's fine. I love Steve Irwin. I understand it. I'm going to take one of the most innovative people as my number 1 overall pick. The person that all of us, except Dalton, continue to pay every month, and that is Steve Jobs.
He's on my board.
As my number 1 overall pick. I'm taking Jobsy.
You went down in my book, no matter what.
Buy an iPhone first before you even ever think about moving up in mine.
It is my birthday.
That's why your camera sucks, because you have an Android, Dalton.
That's not how. I'm on a Mac right now. All right.
Oh, the tables have turned.
What were you on before?
I don't even know, some piece of shit.
All right, Rick, go ahead. Go ahead and take your number 2.
I'm still pretty shocked. Stephen Hawking.
Nice. Those were the 2 people that we just said that I had above Steve Irwin.
You're still wrong, but
That's fine. I'm taking a guy that I would not have like 9% of my t-shirts because I love Jurassic Park and Indiana Jones, and I'm taking Steven Spielberg.
strong choice.
that's a strong choice. That's a strong choice. I'm gonna go with the man of fashion, Steve Harvey.
Dude, nice.
Damn.
I just want to throw it out there that I had Harvey as number 12 on my list.
But you didn't have Steve Irwin as number 1, so your list
I
is
had him
trash.
as 3, damn it.
Your list is trash.
Taking one of the greatest horror authors of our time with Stephen King as my number 3.
That's a good pick.
Oh yeah, but Spielberg and Jobs wasn't.
I'd take King above Spielberg.
But I knew you weren't going to say King. So I had to steal and get a better value out of Stephen King. That way I don't have to pay him as much to be on my team.
Okay. Steph, a.k.a. Stephen Curry.
Nice.
Is that his real name?
His name is Stephen.
Okay.
But same.
We said Stephen counted. I don't
Right.
care. how
No,
you-
I know, but he calls it Stephen. Okay. There's two people that I want to take here, but I'm going to diversify myself a little bit, and I'm going to take somebody that I think is hilarious, and also because he absolutely adores and loves Lord of the Rings, as I'm taking Stephen Colbert.
Okay. Whew. You had me nervous for a second. I thought you were gonna steal my last pick, and I was gonna have to try really hard to come up with someone else. Good, solid pick. Nothing against Colbert, especially this late in the draft. Good pick. Steve Carell,
Nice. Nice,
all-time
nice, nice.
comedic value.
I agree. Oh, you got scared when I said comedy, didn't
Yes, when you
Oh.
said Steven, you said comedy, then you said Steve, and I was like, oh.
you? That's fine. So I'm gonna pull some strings here, since
Calling, making draft trades.
since we got there's a lot of other people on my board that I want to take, but I'm gonna pull at the heartstrings of the people that are voting for us, and I'm taking Steve Smith Sr. from the Carolina Panthers as our
There we
number
go.
5 overall pick.
Waiting for
Way to make a last-ditch effort to appeal to the
He was on my board. He was on my board. He's right here. I got him written down, baby.
Absolute jury pandering right now.
Oh
Hey, know
man,
your audience.
I agree.
Okay, boys, that's it. Top 5 each. Now, who do you think won that draft?
I'll say this, Rick, you kind of had it on lock, in my opinion, until he went Steve Smith. So now I'm weird deliberation. Because for me, Brandon Strength, Steven Spielberg, outstanding. Steve Smith, outstanding. But you going Steve Carell, I think was
You
better.
don't think Jobs is outstanding?
Steve Jobs, I think, was an absolutely weak first choice. One of the
Thank
weak.
you.
Thank you, God,
Hey.
Jesus.
That's fine. But what are you? I can kick you from the Discord call, Mr. Birthday Boy.
What do you think? What do you think, Dalton?
Every pick after Steve Jobs was just, I mean, fifth. If you had picked him fifth, I'd been fine with it. All right.
If I would have
But,
picked him 5th, that weak pick that you think's number 1 would be on Rick's team, and that smile proves it too.
I'm just saying, you misused your first round pick.
It was a
Okay?
whiff. It was a whiff.
Yeah. And I'm gonna have to go with Rick on this one.
That's fine. We got to give Rick 1 win, since all the voters hated his birthday segment that he did in our podcast earlier. It's fine. I understand. I would also probably vote Rick's thing. My last 2 picks, I pulled heartstrings for just Gabe by picking Colbert, who loves Lord of the Rings, and Steve Smith Jr. or Senior.
So you know what? I think Stephen Colbert's value has kind of tanked. Like Colbert Report was great, but now that he's on this night show, he's almost out of view. Like I don't see him.
I like his
almost.
night show though. I watch it. It's probably my first favorite night show was Conan. Conan was always my favorite night show to watch. I love him. I think he's hilarious. I had a lot of other picks up there. I just wanted to take Steve Smith Jr. out of respect for you, Gabe. My real 5th pick would have been somebody else, but I still wanted to draft Steve Smith. I want to have versatile. I had somebody that can make me a lot of money in Spielberg and Jobs and Stephen King. I had a Colbert on there that if I'm having a sad day, he can make me laugh. And I have Steve Smith. I mean, I've met Steve Smith Sr. Like, I can't not pick him if I've met him.
I'll say
I
this,
also
and
think Rick wins.
so I think Stephen King. I think he's overrated, but I also have immense respect because that guy just pumps out books, and he's basically the face of kind of.
No,
Also-
I agree. I also think The Green Mile and Shawshank Redemption's horrible. But whatever, Gabe.
Okay. Yeah,
Damn.
either way.
Yeah,
Steve Harvey pick by Rick.
Steve Harvey was a great pick, dude. I had him here, and I was upset. I
you know
lied when
what?
I said I had him 12th. By the way, I just wanted to start playing mind games with Rick.
I think Steph Curry is a cheat. I actually don't even think that qualifies.
So you're saying
We said that counted.
well, we said Steven, and Steve. His name is Stefan,
Spelled the same as Steven.
but he says it's Stefan and not Steven. Draft invalid. Take all his money, fine him, deduct him points. Rick loses. It's moving on.
Because Brandon went Steve Smith at the end, I am going to go with Brandon on this.
Piece of shit.
That's fine.
Wow.
Hey, like Gabe said,
I'm just
play your audience. Dalton's opinion also doesn't matter. Fact. Anyway,
no.
I facted it. I facted it.
That was like pass interference at the end of a football game, is what you did with that Steph Curry pick. That's the way I'm looking at it. So
Never
I'm
gets
going.
called. It's fine. That never gets called.
Yeah, that's true. Just ask the Saints.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Okay.
it was great. We'll put up
I
a
wanna
poll.
say-
We'll put up a poll after we post this on our Instagram to see who. Well, people
Yes.
will vote and see who wins.
I think there's a lot of undervalue here with my Stephen Hawking pick. I just want to point that out.
That's who I thought you were going to take number 1 overall, and then I was going to take Steve Irwin.
Dude, Steve Irwin was 100%. When we texted earlier, I was like, we have the same number 1, right? Like, I 1,000% was certain.
Well,
we're gonna pick
I
him.
had my number 1 as Steve Irwin, thinking you were taking Hawkins.
Oh, luckily, he fell in the draft. I got to steal him. It was great.
Notable picks that we didn't pick. I have a few. Probably my favorite out of the rest that I wrote down is Steve Buscemi. I would love to have him.
I like Steve Buscemi.
I think he's a solid pick. He's just a good guy. Steve Nash.
Steve Martin.
I was about to say I have Martin on here. I have Steve Nash on here if we wanted to go sports. And the last one I had that if I was really running low, I was going off of nostalgia with this thing right here. I was taking Steve Spurrier, which would have been fun. But that's notable picks. But guys, now we're moving to a segment that we all love that y'all can chime in because Rick and I throw opinions out here all the time. We're talking sports, and we got some big sports to go on. We'll start with what Rick wants to talk about most. Actually, I don't know which one of these Rick wants to talk about most, so we'll talk about either one. Do you want to talk about LeBron first, or do you want to talk about your Eagles going to the Super Bowl this weekend?
LeBron.
Okay, I have one thing to say. He is the greatest player of all time. You can you don't even have to throw his championships in there, and you can still say LeBron is the greatest player of all time. That's a hot take that I'm saying that he's not the greatest player that's won championships, right? Like his championships, he doesn't have 6 like MJ does. He doesn't have like what Bill Russell has like 12, right? So clearly he's not the GOAT of championships, but in every other aspect of the game of basketball, besides number of championships, LeBron is the greatest player that's ever played.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing here is when I talk about greatest of all time at a sport, I'm talking about who the most dominant at the sport, who is the best person to play that game. You know, we brought up last week, right? Gretzky is absolute, hands down, miles in front of anyone else that ever played hockey as far as talent and how good they were at the sport. Ron is that. I mean, the longevity is there, the scoring ability is there, the passing ability, the game IQ is on another level. He just is the best basketball player to ever play. All around. He is first in all-time points. He is 4th all-time assists, and he is 35th all-time rebounders. He literally plays the whole game. He plays every aspect. People talk about his defense, but look, LeBron plays great defense. He's always been on teams where he has to be the help defense guy. He was the guy that had to go get chased down blocks at Cleveland all the time because their team was trash other than him. He's the guy that had to be a rim protector.
You shut up. Ilgauskas was an all-star in my opinion.
Yeah, whatever. Dude, that Cleveland team, when he came in at 18 years old, was absolutely trash. And you can make the winningest argument, but if you make it, you can't say MJ. That's my thing. Is anyone that wants to make the argument about who wins more, it's Bill Russell.
The finals argument that they put against MJ is the fact that he's 6-0.
But he only got there 6 times. Like that's my thing.
And
Is
he
he
won
got
all
their sister.
6. I know. I'm not arguing against you. I have the same number one GOAT in my opinion as well. But the argument that these people that want to argue is just like, well, whatever is 6-0 and or MJ 6-0 and LeBron's not. It's like, okay, cool. Take away MJ's 6 rings, take away LeBron's 4. Which one's the better basketball player?
And it's LeBron all day.
Are we just
Do you
talking
two
about
have
like greatest?
opinions?
Are we talking about like greatest sports athletes or just greatest basketball players?
Basketball, because so LeBron this week
Okay. I
passed
just
the
want to make sure we're not
all-time
talking about
scoring
greatest
record.
athletes.
No.
Okay, I
If
just wanna
if
make
it's
sure-
greatest
okay.
athletes of all time, we're taking somebody, maybe
Yeah, Michael
LeBron.
Phelps, sure.
What?
Michael Phelps for sure is the greatest athlete of all time.
You think Michael Phelps could go transfer into basketball better than LeBron could transfer into swimming?
I will say that Michael Phelps is a world champion instead of a United States champion.
LeBron's
more
also a
times.
world champion.
Yeah, but more times than LeBron is.
Doesn't matter.
He's still a world
it does.
champion.
If
I mean,
they
his neck,
okay,
his neck.
here's my argument against that, Dalton. Look at how many different types of swimming. You're still swimming, but how many different events there are. If there was a one-on-one gold medalist, a 3v3 gold medalist, 5-on-5, which there is, gold
Slam
medalist
dunk contest, which LeBron never even
entered in.
And I think we all know, like, he would have won.
He would have won multiple slam dunk contests easily. The man does slam dunk contest dunks in game.
And warm-ups, like just nothing. Like,
But the key thing you said was, what if? We're talking about actuality here, like the real life thing. He has.
I'm not on the Olympic panel. Like, I can make 12 basketball events if they want me to. Like,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to see more basketball events. I think there should be more diversity in more of these sports.
Maybe the
more
swimmers
events.
should do more than just swim.
Really? That's the.
That's what you just said for basketball.
Well, swimming also already has more events for itself.
Okay.
Basketball only has the one.
Okay, then take LeBron's championship, or not championships, all his individual accolades, and then take away all of Michael Phelps' team gold medals.
I think it's pretty tough to compare an individual sport versus like a team
No,
sport.
we're doing this. Michael Phelps does not win 3 gold medals in his last Olympics if he doesn't have the other 3 people on his team.
Same
Also,
for LeBron.
but no,
LeBron won those championships for that team. Michael Phelps did not win. He was not the last person on that leg, and he was in 3rd place when he hit versus the other 2 guys.
my point would be is if we had more established 1v1, like king of the court, however you want to format it, LeBron would be unstoppable.
Unless he's
There's
playing
no
me.
one.
I'll take a fucking kneecap out in a heartbeat.
If you make it,
technical foul? My bad. LeBron can't walk now. Let me score easily.
I would love.
It
to see a
is.
game of
I do agree with
21.
Gabe, though. It's hard to compare sports. Clearly, of Olympic swimming, Michael Phelps is the greatest. LeBron is the greatest basketball player. Just like you can't even compare Gretzky to LeBron, and they're both team sports. You honestly can't compare Wayne Gretzky to anybody. But like,
Well, I think something that it's talked about a little bit in hockey circles, but like Mario Lemieux, if he didn't get cancer, would have been a decent threat to be up there with Gretzky because he was a 200-point scorer who missed 2.5 seasons right in his prime. I think one year he led the league in points and he missed like half the season. Like that's just insane.
and then it's also there's even different. Like I know you'll know his name right when I ask Gabe, but what's the guy that they consider the best goalie of all time that just retired? Brodeur, right?
He was with the Devils. He's up there for sure. There's
Like
Patrick or Hasek, and then Vasilevsky's going to be in the running at some point. So,
but it's even hard in their own sport to compare fucking goalies to whatever. I mean, just the same way. Look,
and that's where like the Jordan. I think I said this in our group chat. Like Jordan versus LeBron. I'm not going to say LeBron is the GOAT, but I'm not going to say he's not the GOAT because it's like his stats speak for themselves. And something I'll also add, and I think this is very important across all sports, I think championship appearances are undervalued. And I think where LeBron has a lot of strength, like he went to 10 NBA championships, 11.
What'd you say?
LeBron went to
I
like
don't think he's been to that many.
he's been to
Yes, he
10.
has.
He's been to
He
10.
went to like 8 in a row or 7 in a row.
He went to 8 in a row. Conference finals, not finals. Right?
No. He went to like 7 finals in a row.
Is he 4-6?
He's like
Is
NBA
he
finals.
4-6 or 4-7 in finals, something like that, roughly? Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing of like looking at like another crazy sports feat is like the Chiefs have gone to 5 straight AFC championship games. Like that's hard to do. Have they won every one? No, but people are still like, damn, that's really good. But yeah,
Yeah, he's won 10 different finals. And what he's won with 3 different teams, Cavs, Heat, and Lakers.
yeah, won 3 championships, 3 teams.
And where I'll just, because I'm not going to have like a firm point at the end. I think the free agency era's been a little bit helpful for LeBron. And Jordan, though he did get free agents, I don't want to like dismiss that. I don't think it was as pronounced in his career. So I think that's where like it's a little uneven and trying to like evaluate, how would Jordan have played? Whereas LeBron, everywhere he went, he got to basically pick his team, except for when he was drafted. And he carried 61 Cavs team that was filled with Anderson, Varejao, and Ilgauskas, and like all these players.
When they're your starting 5, it's pretty bad.
Yeah,
But
it's just so.
No, I agree. Last point, LeBron did that, so congrats to him. Good job. Before we talk about Super Bowl, because we're going to talk about that for a minute before we get off, I want to bring up a soccer thing that I'm super excited about before it happens, because I know none of y'all follow soccer as much as I do. Manchester City, who I absolutely hate with all my passion, would literally sacrifice my first kid to watch them never play soccer ever again. That's not a lie, Amy. They are in a bunch of scrutiny right now. They have over 100 lawsuits against them by the Premier League for financial wrongdoings over the past 10 plus years, about 12 years since about 2009, something like that. They are going to, once the lawsuits go into full thing, they're going to lose points automatically. The Premier League is going to restrict contracts and terminate some players' contracts that they like illegally signed, if that makes sense, which is great. They're going to get fined, but doesn't matter because they're owned by a Saudi group that owns so much money it's stupid, so that fine doesn't matter. And more or less, they might get relegated, which they might move down a league or 2. I've heard that recently, which is absolutely amazing. I have nothing else to say on it except y'all are all a bunch of losers. I do not like your fucking soccer team at all. You deserve all of this, and your coach is going to quit when this is true, and it's 100% fact. You will never let Manchester bleed blue ever again. Go fuck yourself. Let's talk about the Super Bowl. All right, Eagles versus...
Hang on, before we get to the Super Bowl, because I do want to end on that. Before we get there, just a quick note of how crazy the NBA the trade deadline just happened. And things went nuts real fast. We knew Kyrie wanted to be traded from the Nets.
Went to the Mavs.
We didn't know who would get him. He went to the Mavs. Then KD all of a sudden wants a trade and gets traded. And then Lakers, not really a shock, but wanted to get out from under Russell Westbrook's contract. But then how that happened, 3-team situation that went down, is nuts. So we got KD to the Suns, Kyrie to the Mavs, Russ is in Utah, D'Angelo Russell, D-Lo is back in LA for his second tour. It's nuts. I even have a note that says, what does this all mean? We don't know.
All it means is Phoenix is the favorite to win the championship for sure.
It makes them deadly. Make them deadly.
And secondly,
Booker and KD.
Chris Paul and KD.
Yeah, Booker and KD as scoring threats being facilitated by Chris Paul is scary.
Even at his age.
And secondly, all this means is last week on the podcast, we called Kyrie Irving going to the Mavericks.
Yeah, we were hoping for something a little bit different, maybe a little flashier with the trades, but
we
also want to point out Utah Jazz Now have Russell Westbrook, where I think he's in a situation where he gets to be ball dominant again. Unless he leaves, there's talks about how he might get a buyout and go somewhere else. But if he does
Right.
stay in Utah for a little while, he gets to be ball dominant again. This is Mr. Triple Double we're talking about. He did not flourish with a team of all stars. It's not his game. He's definitely a volume player. He's on the Jazz currently, and they have a metric shit ton of draft picks. They have 15 first round draft picks in the next 6 years. They average 2.5 first rounders for the next 6 years.
They also receive 5 second-round picks too.
Yeah, they can load their team in any which way. They're in a great situation for free agency to trade away draft picks and get key players. The Utah, if they don't fumble this terribly, really make a team out of this in the near future, and I think it's very exciting to see.
I agree. I love it. I don't follow the NBA as much. I am excited that Kyrie is on our team that I enjoy watching. It'll be fun.
I mean, 24 points in his debut is pretty solid.
Yeah, and Luka's not playing tonight, so that means that. Well, let's end with the Super Bowl and call it a day. Trying to make it a little quick up. Eagles.
The Bears are going to the Super Bowl. Let's go, baby. The Bears are going to the Super Bowl.
All right, so
Sweet,
we have
and things you'll never hear again.
yes.
Have the opposite of the Super Bowl.
So we have the Eagles versus the Chiefs. Before we talk any about it, I want score predictions right now. What are they, Gabe?
I'm going to go 27-26 Eagles over the Chiefs.
What about you, Dalt?
I think they're going to go into overtime, 21-21, and then Eagles are going to win 27-21 in overtime. And the coin toss is going to be heads. Call it right now. All right.
All right. Rick, what do you think?
Can we touch on the fact that Dalton just said we scored 6 points in overtime?
Yeah, you score
they
a
don't-
touchdown. You don't have to kick the extra point if you win.
Okay.
So
This
Chiefs
is-
get the ball first,
Yeah,
then they 3 and out, give it to the Eagles, they score a touchdown,
Game
boom,
over.
extra point.
yeah, no extra point.
Okay.
Now that's a very specific scenario that Dalton is foreshadowing or forecasting.
Definitely
So,
thought I was going to hear 24-21 Eagles right there, but hey, whatever.
I'd be a little alcohol talking. Who knows?
Yeah. All right, Rick,
Hey,
what do you
listen.
think?
No overtime. 35-28. Eagles come out on top. Second Super Bowl, baby.
All right, and I am going with there's going to be absolutely no defense in this game at all, and I'm going 37-34.
I think you're missing the fact that we have one of the best defenses in the league. But hey, your call.
Eagles, by the way. I don't care how good any defense is against that Chiefs offense. I still think
Go Birds! Go Birds!
I think the Eagles are going to win. Hopefully they bring their second Super Bowl so they can have just as many Super Bowls. My team actually has, out of these 4, the most Super Bowls out of all of us because we have 2.
Yeah, whatever. Talk to me Monday.
So, Rick, I want you to have exactly as many as ours. That way, when we divide ours by 0, we have the same amount as Dalton and Gabe's team.
The Bears have a Super Bowl.
No, they don't. Not in my
Oh,
eyes.
Hot take. Shut the fuck up. All right.
Hot take.
Nice.
How
Good
was the
talk.
Colts versus Bears Super Bowl?
I don't want to talk about it.
All right, then.
How are you going to feel, Brandon, when Frank Reich leads the Panthers to a Super Bowl and he couldn't lead the Colts to a Super Bowl? Because
Look,
your organization is so bad that it just drags
so
quality down.
I will say I think us firing Frank Reich was stupid. Was it probably the right office call because of how bad we were playing? Yes. Was it Matt Ryan's sole fault that Frank Reich got fired from us? Yes. It was our offensive ability that got Reich fired. Do I think that? Yes, it was. Our defense was fine, Rick.
I agree. Defense was.
I think Reich is a great coach. I think it's a great hire for the Panthers. I really do. It's your first offensive-minded coach your team's ever had.
Yeah.
I don't think you can make a good argument that the offensive coordinator and the head coach are good if you have an established quarterback who's not amazing, and he's definitely on the back end of his career. But Matt Ryan's not a bad quarterback.
No, but he played bad this year.
Rick,
Calls.
I heard his arm strength got shot in training camp.
It was horrible.
When they signed him, he was good, and then once like the season started, his arm died.
What should have happened was we should have just played fucking Nick Foles all year with the way Matt Ryan played.
Now that's a fact. Because look, let me tell you,
I'm not even gonna grace
Nope.
that comment
All,
with.
all I know is that Reich helped win a fucking Super Bowl with Nick Foles as the OC of fucking Philadelphia. I'd rather have him call it playing
one of
with
those
Reich.
QBs, yeah, one of those QBs is a Super Bowl MVP. So fuck around and find out.
The other one blew a 28-3 lead, but we won't talk about that on our podcast. If Matt Ryan's even on the Colts next year, I'm not watching one fucking NFL game ever. You heard that here
Deal.
first. Matt Ryan.
I hope he's your backup. So for a veteran presence,
If Matt
and
Ryan
you won't
starts
watch
on the Colts, I'm not watching an NFL game next year.
If y'all draft C.J. Stroud and you have him and Matt Ryan in the same QB room, I think that's gonna be gold. I think that'll be really good.
Matt Ryan wants to play somewhere though.
I don't think he's gonna start anywhere, and I think he might make more money playing with the Colts than he would going somewhere
Oh,
else.
we have the cap space. We have the cap space to sign absolutely anybody. We'll sign Derek Carr. We're going to become a retirement home for quarterbacks for the next 10 years. All depends on who we fire. I've already said it once. If we hire Jeff Saturday, I am changing teams.
Eagles,
I am
Eagles.
changing teams if we hire Jeff Saturday. I don't care how good you are, how buddy you are with our owner, who also needs to change. If you go 0-7 in your interim coach debut, you should not be hired as our head coach.
Brandon, I heard Shaq Leonard on the Macri show today talk about how he really likes Jeff Saturday, and
He's
he
great.
thinks
I love Jeff Saturday. I have a Jeff Saturday jersey. I don't have a coach. I don't have a Jeff Saturday coaching polo though.
I think if you hired him, you might be surprised.
Maybe.
I don't think it'll happen. I think it'll be interesting.
I hope.
Eagles as your new team.
Bears are always looking for more people to cheer.
They're
for
also
them.
looking for a new stadium, a field, a head coach, a defensive coordinator, an offensive coordinator, and fans, Dalton. So choose which ones you want. Do you want another fan or you want a field that doesn't kill anybody?
So which button right here I'm gonna push to leave this call? I guess this one right here.
Do you want to know? Because it's this one.
Rick, I got a question to close out this talk on the Super Bowl.
Sure.
What do you think has to go right if the Eagles win, and what do you think has to go wrong if the Eagles lose? Like, what would from watching them all year, what do you think would happen if, like, do you think it's all just Mahomes, or do you think it's like the Eagles? Because I think your team is better than the Chiefs. Like the roster is better. It doesn't have to be much better, but I think it's better. So, like, what would have to happen either way in your eyes?
So for things to go right, we have to establish the run game. Anders has been doing fantastic. Having a dual threat quarterback with Hurts has been fantastic for getting pressure off of him.
Any game, it's like a stable of backs over there.
Yes, and then that has opened up so many passing options for us between having a deep threat in Devontae Smith and having all-out threat with A.J. Brown, fantastic pickup. I think we have to be able to establish the run game because as much as I do like our receiving core, and Hurts has shown that he can throw the ball, which a lot of people had questions about, I think the run game has to get established pretty early. What could go wrong? Injuries, because I'm not going to talk about injuries. Let's hope there's no injuries across the board. What did you say, Gabe?
It's just a gamble. Like injuries or RNG, you can't anticipate any of it.
Yeah. So I'm hoping there's no injuries on either side of the ball because I wouldn't wish that on the Chiefs. I think what could go wrong for us is having someone be able to cover Kelsey while Mahomes can distribute the ball. We have a good secondary. but we don't have people that are going to be able to guard Travis Kelce because no one has someone like that.
Yeah.
Barring like, there's no super elite linebackers in the league right now that I'm like, yeah, they would shut down Travis Kelce. No. So it really is. I mean, he won the MVP. I think this year's was pretty arguable, but he did win the MVP for a reason. He is a absolute elite talent at quarterback, and he could make things go wrong for us. But hopefully that's not the case. I'm not super scared of their defense. I think their offense is deadly to anyone. I mean, they've shown they just can blow up. Their 2-minute drill really only needs to be like 45 seconds.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it is. It's absurd, but they can move down the field in a blink of an eye. Our defense just has to do what they do, and we have to establish the run game on offense, and it should be our Super Bowl. I'm not saying we're going to hold them scoreless, but I think we can definitely outscore them.
You're right. You're going to hold them to 34 points.
Nope,
Because it's
28.
going to be 37-34 Eagles.
We're
Sorry
going to
about
hold
that.
them to 28.
I have a bunch of.
It's gonna go to
drunk women in my
overtime.
house.
Just saying. It's gonna go to overtime.
I can't
Okay.
deal with that.
I want to throw in to all the slammers out there our one lock 100% money bet for the Super Bowl is you just put $500 on it. You're going to win at least 125. Put 10, you win 500. It's easy. Tom Cruise is going to fly in and parachute into the opened domed stadium in Arizona and hand the football to the referees. It's a lock bet. It's going to happen. My insiders at the Waste Management Open have already told me that it is a plus and it's going to happen. Just lock your bets if y'all want to become millionaires real quick.
You did put our bet down for that, correct?
I'm about to tomorrow morning, yes.
Okay, just want to make sure, like, we all paid for that, correct?
Gabe and you did. Rick doesn't want to waste $5.
Rick, come on.
But if it doesn't, if it
$5,
happens, think about how stupid Rick feels.
Yeah.
That is true.
Never let him live that down, ever.
You know what has me the most worried about this bet of all?
Is the fact that it's on legal betting sites?
The fact that Tom Cruise could jump out of this fucking helicopter plane or whatever, but he just might not hand the ball to the ref.
What if he hands it to Patrick Mahomes or something?
Yeah.
Or-
And then
Oh, God.
what the hell is
Or what if they get just a rando to jump out and everybody's like, holy shit, it's Tom Cruise. Bovada was right. And then it's just some random paratrooper guy handing the ball.
Well, he doesn't.
I hope it's Tom Cruise and he flies down and everything, but it's to do the coin flip.
I tell you right now, if we see a parachuter and he's got a ball in his hand or some sort of like other pack on besides his parachute pack, I'm freaking out. And that right there before kickoff will be the most excited about the Super Bowl I will be that entire game.
What's the payoff for that?
Like, dude, you get $125 with your $5 bet.
Bet. Let's do it.
No, I thought we did it and it was like $1,250 for $5.
No, for what we have total, it's like I have a lot of people convinced that this bet's going to happen. Total the winnings is like $1,250 or something right now, but if you just go in there and put $5, it's plus $2,500, so it's $125 if you get it with your $5 bet. I mean, hey, huh?
I'm eager to see what happens. That money's definitely been lit on fire because it's not going to
No,
happen.
Bovada saw it. They literally saw the money that I'm going to do tomorrow. They're going to pull it out of an ATM and just light it on fire. I want to know. I wish I could find a stat that shows how many people placed money on that to happen.
Probably only 4 of the stupidest people in the country.
Well, right now it's 3 because one of them's not.
Yeah.
What's up?
Sorry, I didn't know you were still recording.
No, we are. You want to tell everybody, hey, it's Dalton's birthday.
Oh, wait, I just wanted to show
It's my birthday. I can cry if I...
Look how
Amy, hey.
doesn't Dalton look pixelated?
Yeah, your
See,
your
look
internet
at that.
sucks.
Just flat out,
What?
your internet.
What?
She said flat out. She just goes, your internet fucking sucks.
Well, you know what, Amy?
Wait, are these?
You're
Huh?
a nice person, all right? You're a really...
I think this
Nice,
is where.
nice, nice. I like
What are
this
we
a lot.
doing?
No.
Amy just RKO'd you out of nowhere on
Are they
Dalton How do you feel about that?
No. These were all guys in our wedding.
So, like,
Oh,
Which
okay,
one? So
okay.
Rick married us,
Aww.
right? That's Gabe. Who did you walk down the thing with?
I was this guy.
It would have to be him. Yeah, Rick was our officiant. Dalton was there, actually
Yeah, I think it
physically
was
wearing
him.
wearing
one.
the hat. Gabe, did you walk down the aisle with Farah?
I think.
I was
Gabe,
with Abby, I think.
he walked with Abby, so no.
Yeah, because you
You
definitely
might-
had more groomsmen
Yeah,
than
yeah,
this. Yeah.
It's just
That's
that.
not Amy.
Aw.
I walked
No,
with
this
Grandma.
is Farah. It's Farah's birthday last weekend?
Last month.
Last month. So they're all
Andres,
celebrating
Yeah.
birthdays this weekend.
Are those your podcast?
Yeah, it's my day though,
Mhm.
right?
Oh my
Right,
God,
so get the
that's
fuck
so
out of here.
It's
I'm
my
just-
day though.
Love the pod.
It's
Love the
fun.
pod.
We have so much fun doing it. It's outrageous.
I love it. Okay, I'll leave.
All right.
No, you're
I think
fine.
I
You're
think
fine.
that's a show.
I do too. I just got bombarded by a bunch of drunk women, so I'm gonna go hang out with
Sounds like a
them.
good time.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out.
Palooza. Dalton Palooza needs to shift gears.
Yeah, we're having Dalton Palooza here now, baby.
I'm gonna go have
But-
some steak.
But yes, I did. I showed Rick that, and Rick pulled out something similar.
We started playing show and tell
Yes.
earlier before the stream.
You shutting me in here again?
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. I don't give a
Well,
shit.
I'll turn this off too now.
No. I need that on
Oh, okay.
because you took my ring light. Anyway, sorry about the last 5 minutes and a half, but it'll be okay. Anyway, that is all that we have for today. Gabe, Dalton, thanks for doing this literally on last second. We had a blast. I
I
had
had
a
to move
blast.
my schedule.
No, you're
so-
good. Yeah, it sucks because you were playing video games with the exact same people.
What
But
mission for the world? Y'all made my birthday for me. Let me go here.
But it be what it be. We will always have this as a Dalton Palooza memory now, because it's recorded. You got to think of that. But anyway, Rick, we should do this again next week. Boom. Thank you so much. If you have questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, or want to see anything on This Week in History or Hot Takes of the Day on our show, just remember, because of our good friend Dalton, they have to be both interesting and fun. Is that what it is? Fun and interesting? Can't be one of the others. Got to be fun and interesting. Please send us an email at slamsfistfact@gmail.com or hit us up on our Instagram or TikTok. They are the same names. They are at slamsfistfact. Just remember, once we get to 100 followers, Rick will start doing viral TikTok dances onto our TikTok. So tell your friends, tell everybody, just go follow the TikTok, and once we hit 100, Rick will start doing viral TikTok dances. Other than that, everyone have a great day. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe, and we will see you next week. Perfect.